Derivatives of logarithmic functions. We have two types of logarithms that we're going to investigate. Logarithms with a base number e, those are called natural logs, written with an ln. In that case, we'll either have natural log of x, just x, or natural log of some function of x, where the derivative is no longer 1. If we have derivative of natural log x, then we just take the reciprocal of whatever follows the natural log, which is just x. The derivative of x is 1, so that's all there is to that derivative. You just take the reciprocal. If what follows natural log is a function of x where the derivative is no longer 1, then you still take the reciprocal, so it'll be 1 over whatever follows natural log, and then you multiply the derivative of whatever follows natural log. If your logarithm does not have a base of e, excuse me, where it has any other base number like a 5 or a 7, then it'll follow one of these two. The first case is if it's just the letter x, then it's 1 over x times the natural log of the base number, whatever the base of the logarithm is. If what follows the logarithm does not have a derivative of 1, it's a function of x, then you will still do the reciprocal of that function that follows the logarithm. So it'll be 1 over f of x. You'll still take natural log of the base number, and then finally you'll multiply all that by the derivative of the function that follows the logarithm. Let's look at some examples. In the top left, we have the function natural log of 6x. So following the natural log formula, you take the reciprocal, so 1 over 6x times the derivative of 6x, which is 6, and that gives us 6 over 6x. You can simplify by crossing out the 6's, and that will leave 1 over x. Another natural log, the top right example, we have natural log of 4 minus x to the 6th. Taking the derivative, you take the reciprocal of what trails the natural log, so 1 over 4 minus x to the 6th, then times by the derivative of what follows, so that's negative 6x to the 5th. Put this all in one fraction, and you have negative 6x to the 5th over 4 minus x to the 6th. If you don't have e as a base number, then the ln changes to log, and you'll have the base number given as a subscript. If what trails the logarithm is just x, then it's 1 over x times natural log of the base number. So we have 1 over x ln 7. This natural log of the base number still applies even back up in the top two examples, but because natural log is log base e, again from a couple videos ago, when we take natural log of e, you just get a 1, so you don't have to write it. Bottom right example, we have log base 5 of 8x cubed minus 9x squared. So we first take the reciprocal, that's going to be 1 over 8x cubed minus 9x squared times the natural log of the base, so that's ln 5, and then the derivative of the part that trails log will be 24x squared minus 18x. So that's the compact form. It's derivative over original times natural log of the base. Let's look at an application. The cost of producing x units of a product is modeled by the function c equals 150 plus 35x minus 190 times the natural log of x. Logarithms are only defined for positives, and because we're looking at whole number of units, we're going to keep x greater than or equal to 1. That's just a domain thing. Average cost is total cost divided by number of units. So first we'll have to build an average cost function. So we take our cost function, which we have given, divide by x. WebAssign is totally fine taking this one big fraction. That's your average cost function. And actually, that's the one I would stick with. It'd be c over x. To the right, the reason I broke this up is because on the next part of your problem, you're asked to find the minimum average cost. Well, when you see maximum or minimum, you should always be thinking derivative and critical numbers. So if we take all three terms from the cost function, divide by x, that gives us 150 over x, 35x over x, the x's cancel, leaves just 35, and then 190 natural log x over x. If you split it up, it'll help when you take the derivative. Okay, so if we take this problem, our average cost can be written as 150x to the negative 1, and that's from taking the x term to the numerator, changing the sign of its power. 35 is good as is. 190 natural log x over x, we bring the x up, that x takes on a negative power. So this first line is nothing more than those three terms written straight across. So I've eliminated fractions by using exponent properties. Now, taking the derivative, 150 times negative 1, take 1 off your power. 35 is a constant, so its derivative is 0. The next term, written in blue, I've highlighted the algebraic type term and the natural log term. Those are multiplied, so we use the product rule expansion. Derivative of the first part is positive 190 x to the negative 2. And let me spruce that 2 up a little bit. It didn't transfer over with a PDF. Times the second term left alone. So we have derivative of the first, second left alone, minus first term left alone times the derivative of the second term. Well, natural log of x by itself is just a reciprocal when you take the derivative. It's 1 over x times the derivative of x, which is 1, so you don't really have to write that. Now, to get our critical number, we set this first derivative equal to 0. That's where I switch to the red ink. Changing the negative exponents back into positive, I drop this x to the negative 2 back to the bottom. This x to the negative 2, I drop it to the bottom. And then this x to the negative 1, if you drop it down and multiply it with that x that's on the bottom, you have a couple of them. Let me see if I can't get that to change. Make that, there we go, make that 2 look a little more defined. Okay, now we have a common denominator all throughout. It's x squared on bottom. X squared, because of the domain, we're only using number x's of 1 or larger. That domain's never going to be 0. Excuse me, that denominator will never be 0. So in order for this to be 0, the numerator has to be 0. So basically what I've done is I've taken all three numerators, peeled those off, and rewrote that, put them equal to 0. Combining like terms, negative 150 minus 190 is negative 340. If you add 340 to both sides, you get negative 190 natural log x equals 340. Divide both sides by 190. And so that takes us to natural log x equals 340 over 190. Now to eliminate the natural log, you exponentiate with e. So that's what I've done in the black ink is I have raised both sides of the equation as a power of e. This is called exponentiating. E and natural log cancel one another, so that is x equals e to the 340 over 190, which reduces to 34 over 19, and that's approximately 6 units. You'll want to keep a few decimal points for accuracy because we're asked to find the average minimum cost. Go back to the average cost function. You can either use the one up here that we built as a fraction, or you can use the one that's broken up. It's totally your call there. Let me scroll back down. I used the one that was built as one fraction that we would enter into WebAssign. I would take the number of units that I just found, substitute that into the average cost function. I've done that here. There were 3 places to substitute. It's cost function over number of units. When you do the math, be careful when you type this in your calculator. You will get an average cost of $3.26 per unit. And a second example, basically the same type. I just changed the cost function a little bit. We still have a cost function given. Average cost is cost function over X. Using the same, I don't want to call it a trick, but the same technique I used earlier on the first slide. You could call this 110 x to the negative 1. 35x over x, the x's cancel, so that leaves 35. 120 over, minus 120 natural log x over x. If you bring that x from the denominator, just make sure you change the sign of its power, so it'll be x to the negative 1 natural log x. And then that's what you'll see down on this level. Once you've written that average cost function, and just as a reminder, this would be the one you would type into WebAssign on the first box, just because it's more compact. WebAssign should take this one as well if you want to type it in. But the reason I changed that from a fraction to a set of terms that are side by side is it's easier to take the derivative. So let's take our average cost function, take its first derivative, just like we did on the last example, negative 110x to the negative 2. 35 is a constant, so its derivative is 0. Product rule in the back, so we have 120x to the negative 2 times the second term left alone, plus a negative 120x to the negative 1 left alone. So adding a negative makes it negative, times the derivative of the second term, which is 1 over x. Moving your x to the negative 2 terms back to the bottom, that will change their exponents from negative to positive. This term is 1 over x times another 1 over x. That's why it's 1 over x squared times that 120 that they have in common. Well, that 120 is that one. Now, since our domain is x equals 1 or larger, we have no threat of a 0 denominator. The only time this can be 0 is when your numerator is 0. So I want to make an equation out of the numerators. Stripping off the numerators, negative 110 minus 120, that's negative 230. So like I did on the last example, we're going to solve for natural log x. So I'm going to add 230 and divide by 120. The 230 goes positive when it crosses the equals, divided by 120. So that simplifies to 23 over 12. Then to eliminate natural log, you exponentiate with e. Exponentiate both sides with e. E and ln cancel. E to the 23 over 12 is approximately 6.8. Again, keep 3 to 4 decimal places for accuracy, because when you go back to your average cost function from part A, you want to sub this in. And if you've got several decimal point places after, you'll keep some accuracy at the very end. The more decimal numbers you keep here, the more accurate you are at the end. So anyway, long story short, 6.798 goes into all the x's in your average cost function. So you take C bar of 6.798, carefully plug that number in for all the x's. What I recommend is calculate your numerator, get that value, and then just divide that single value by 6.798. For this problem, our average cost is $17.35 per unit. I hope this video helps. Reach out by phone or email, swing by the office if you're on campus.